What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hold up. I was looking for my freaking headphones. But yo, how's your day going? I know it's going amazing, right? I know you're gonna tell me that. I'm about to check out MrBallen, top 3 places you can't go, and people who went anyways. I'm not gonna lie, this series, I know I'm only on part 2, but this series is so freaking amazing. Part 1 was so crazy, I called it out. I called out 2 of them. 2 of the spots, bro, which was hella freaking crazy. But either way it go, but I'll check out top 3 places you can't go and people went anyways by MrBallen, part 2. Go ahead and light up this very special candle to me real quick. Want to check out the original video? Link will be in the description below. Ooh, that smell good, but let's go.
I think we all like to believe that the whole world is accessible to us if we just had the time or the money or maybe both. But in today's video, I'm going to shatter that illusion and share with you a top 3 list of places you can't go no matter how much money or time you might have. And for each of these locations, I'll share with you an instance of someone going there anyways and what happened to them. Spoiler, it didn't end well. But before we get into today's top 3 list, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place. Because that's all I do, and I upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. If that's of interest to you, then please give the like button a one-way ticket to North Sentinel Island. Also, please subscribe to this channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly uploads. Alright, let's get into today's stories.
I didn't bring no snacks! Dang it! I got some vitamins, but I already ate 2. I can't eat no more. The gates of hell.
In the early 1990s, a man turns on his camera, flips on his light, and starts filming. As the viewer, all we can tell is that he's in this gray hallway. It's very unclear where he is. It does appear to be something that might be underground because everything seems to be concrete. As he's filming, he begins walking down this narrow corridor where there's nothing on the walls or on the ground or anywhere to give away where he is. And so for the first 40 seconds of him just walking down this kind of meandering hallway, it's very uneventful. Then at some point, he aims his camera at what looks like an arrow that's been spray painted on the wall. He looks down at the ground and there's another arrow. He starts to follow the arrows and he's filming each one as he comes across them as he goes farther and farther off of the main hallway. And at some point, the arrows bring him to this room, which at first you can't tell what it is. But then as the camera focuses, you see that there is this massive pile of human remains, skeletal remains. The guy...
Bro, where are you at? If I see some arrows that say, this way to hell, nigga, I'm not going.
As you see that there is this massive pile of human remains, skeletal remains. The guy filming does not seem alarmed by what he's seeing. In fact, it seems like he came here knowing he might come across this room full of human remains. After staring at this room for a few moments, he doesn't go in, but instead turns and continues following these arrows and strange markings on the wall and the ground as it brings him farther and farther down this other corridor to more rooms with more skeletal remains. And at some point, he comes to a full stop and he's looking at one of these rooms and something spooks him. It's unclear what it is because to this point, he's been very nonchalant about this horrible thing he's looking at. It didn't seem to faze him at all, but something did spook him because he's standing there and then all of a sudden he starts sprinting down the hall. Now, it's clear at this point in the video that he is alone down here, or at least he thinks he's alone down here. But he's running as if someone's chasing him. And he just takes off down this hall. The camera is now dropped to his side. He's not even trying to film what's in front of him. You hear his breathing and it's very panicked. And at some point he kind of trips and drops his camera and the camera comes to rest in this puddle looking right up against the wall. So you don't have a clear view of where this guy is or what's going on. And all you hear is his panicked breathing and his rapid footsteps as he continues to run down the hallway and eventually just disappears and is totally silent. And at some point the camera runs out of batteries and it turns off.
Hold up. So how we get that footage then? Cause he said in 91 or something, right? Cameras was not that up to date then. You ain't had no apps.
Disappears and it's totally silent. And at some point the camera runs out of batteries and it turns off. 10 years later, a group of urban explorers would find this man's camera where he had dropped it 10 years earlier.
My bad, you know, I caught Cap on something real quick. Cap! It just fall out sometime. Don't play with me, dog. I'm about to say I never gave MrBallen the cap. He never got one. Don't get one from me.
And at some point, the camera runs out of batteries and it turns off. 10 years later, a group of urban explorers would find this man's camera where he had dropped it 10 years earlier in one of the scariest places on Earth. Hundreds of feet below the streets of Paris, France, lies one of the world's largest...
As above, so far below or some shit like that. I saw that. I was thinking of this movie. My bad, I got excited. I'm sorry, calm down. Did y'all see this movie, dog? I liked it. It's one of the ones that kind of take long to get good, but I liked it. I was thinking that when he was like, he went into there and he saw the bones, I started to get that movie. I said, oh, the movie in Paris. You gotta say it like you got a little money in the bank. Paris. Shut up.
Hundreds of feet below the streets of Paris, France, lies one of the world's largest mass graves. It's known as the Paris catacombs, and it's about 200 miles of intricate passageways that loop all over the city of Paris, where over 6 million people have been buried. The reason all these people were buried down there is because by the 17th century in Paris, the cemeteries in the city were overflowing, and so the decision was made to move their bodies down underneath the streets of Paris into these tunnels that were built in the 13th century for mining but had not been used in hundreds of years. And so they began packing in all these people to the tune of 6 million bodies before they ultimately stopped doing that. Starting in the late 1800s, the catacombs became sort of a popular tourist destination, but only a tiny section of the catacombs was made open to the public, meaning there are literally hundreds of miles of passageways in the catacombs that are totally sealed.
I legit, I wouldn't even want to go see the little piece that you said I could see. I'm cool. Saw the movie. I'm cool. I'm not going in there.
There are literally hundreds of miles of passageways in the catacombs that are totally sealed off to the public. No one goes in there, even though many people believe in these forbidden sections of the catacombs, there are entrances to additional levels of the catacombs, that there could be as much as 400 miles of passageways in the catacombs just waiting to be explored, but no one's allowed to go in there. At least not legally. There's an entire community of people that are sneaking into these forbidden...
I was gonna say that. I read a few stories about people sneaking into it, and these are the type of ones when I be telling you, don't send me the GoFundMe link. It's not that I'm being mean. When you're walking to your own death, I saw it coming, you saw it coming, you kept going, I stopped.
That's crazy to me. There's an entire community of people that are sneaking into the forbidden section of the catacombs by going through sewer drains and getting onto train tracks and sneaking into these little cracks in the side of the walls. I mean, it's incredibly dangerous. It involves wriggling your way into these 13th century tunnels that are unmapped, pitch black, and no one knows you're there. Not to mention, you're surrounded by literally millions of dead people.
Facts.
Once people started figuring out how to sneak into the forbidden section of the catacombs, there's been countless stories of these urban explorers sneaking in, getting lost, and never coming out again. Which is exactly what we think happened to the guy with the camera who saw the arrows and then ran away. His camera was located miles and miles into one of those forbidden sections.
Man, damn, he said... Bro, think about how far that is. You know how far a mile actually is? He said it was miles and miles into the forbidden section. That mean cuz was walking. You were legit trying to find some ish. And you found it, didn't it? Rest in peace. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Man, the chills. The way he said that, bro.
In 2014, Kenny Veach was an avid long-distance hiker that spent lots of his time hiking around the Mojave Desert in search of caves and abandoned mine shafts to go check out. Sometimes he'd bring his girlfriend with him, but most of the time he was on his own and he would stay out for a couple of days at a time. Kenny was constantly on YouTube watching hiking videos and anything to do with the Mojave Desert. And Kenny was a regular commenter on all of those types of videos. In June of 2014, Kenny must have watched this video called Son of an Area 51 Technician because he had left this comment where he was telling the community that had watched this video that he had had a very strange thing happen to him when he was out hiking near Area 51. For those that don't know what Area 51 is, it's a highly confidential United States Air Force installation that is frequently looped into alien conspiracy theories. Kenny goes on to describe this strange event, and he said he found this cave entrance on the side of this mountain that was shaped like an uppercase M. As Kenny walks up to enter this M-shaped cave, he said his body started to vibrate and it stopped him in his tracks. And he said he didn't know what it was, but as he walked closer and closer, his body just continued to vibrate to the point where he said he just had to turn around and leave.
Wait, I thought he was gonna read it. Let me read it. This ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. I'm a long distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, my bad if I said it wrong, I found the hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me. Got out of there though, huh?
Vibrate to the point where he said he just had to turn around and leave. That he knew something was wrong with this cave and he could not
get out of there, dog.
And so he said he turned around and he left. His comment got a lot of traction on this video, and a lot of people jumped on and were like, well, I don't really believe you, one, but if that is true, you gotta go back. You gotta go back there and explore it. You gotta document this. Whatever this is, we want to know what it is. They were basically egging him on to go back and check it out. Kenny
see, and that's that bull. I ain't gonna stop it no more. If you know if you walk in the cave and you felt some shocking going through your body, why would you? I ain't proving nothing to you. You can go for yourself. If you believe me, you believe me. If you don't, you don't. I'm not one of the people that's about to go through hoops to prove anything. I'm not. Because at the end of the day, whether you believe me or not, it happened. If I'm capping, then it didn't happen. I ain't even about to start rapping. Stop. You know I'm about to strap in. Stop. Stop playing with me, dog.
We want to know what it is. They were basically egging him on to go back and check it out. Kenny responded to his critics and said, I'm telling you the truth. I know what I saw. This cave was different. I go out in the desert all the time looking for caves, and I go in them. That's what I do. Man. This one was different, and that's why I didn't go in.
And I'm not going in,
people just kept egging him on to go back and check it out and to film it, show documentation of this thing. And so finally he agrees. A couple of months later, Kenny goes back out to the Mojave Desert with his camera, and he films himself looking for the M cave, but he can't find it. So the video's kind of a bust. He still uploads it to YouTube, and he tells everyone that he's gonna go back out again. He knows where it is. He's fairly...
Bro, last stop. I believe it. I believe him. I'm getting old. I gotta do that auntie rub. I'm telling you, bro. Child, I believe him. No cap. I believe him. He said he legit do this. Like, bro, I do this ish. Like, you want internet capping? I legit do this. I'm out here. When I get to him, I go into him. I'm not scared of them. But this one was different. I'm not stupid. You want me to go back? Aight. It's gone. Stop playing with me.
It to YouTube, and he tells everyone that he's gonna go back out again.
No more stop.
He knows where it is. He's fairly confident that he can get to it again, but he just needs to go out a third time to go look for it. Over the course of the next month, in the comment section of that video, people are encouraging Kenny and saying, go out there, go find it, we're so excited. One commenter was not so encouraging.
Thank you.
Their name was Lemmy Killmeister, and they wrote on his video, do not go to M Cave. If you go in, you won't be able to get out again. Kenny wrote back, what do you mean? And Lemmy Killmeister
never wrote back.
And subsequently...
I knew it, because that's the government telling you. We warning your little stupid ass. Go in there if you won't. Rest in peace if anything happened. I'm sorry. Somebody, they even refer to as M Cave. They letting you know. Stop playing with us. Don't come across 7 Mile. Don't. We letting you know, right? Don't do that. For real. Cause we gonna beat the brakes off, cuz, bro. Stop playing, bro.
Do not go to M Cave. If you go in, you won't be able to get out again. Kenny wrote
say
back,
less.
"What do you mean?" And Lemmy Kilmister didn't respond and subsequently vanished from YouTube. Kenny brushes this off, and on November 10th, 2014, he heads back out once again to try to find M Cave. On November 14th, when he had not returned and his girlfriend had not heard from him and couldn't get in touch with him, she called the police. The police launched this massive search for Kenny. They knew roughly where he was going to be because he had documented it so aggressively on his YouTube channel. And so they search in that area, and after about a week, they find his cell phone, and it was laying outside of an abandoned mine shaft. Now, immediately, searchers think, well, he must have fallen into this mine shaft that was almost a vertical mine shaft. He must have fallen in there to his death. So they get a camera, and they feed it down into this mine shaft, and there's no one in there. And very clearly, no one had been down this mine shaft in a very...
Bro, do you see this picture right now? You would walk in there. I couldn't. I couldn't even look at that in real life. I couldn't.
And there's no one in there. And very clearly, no one had been down this mine shaft in a very long time.
Because somebody snatched it before you even got in there.
There were no tracks around where his phone was located, so no animal tracks or people tracks. And the phone didn't have blood on it or scratches on it. It was just sitting there with no new information. Beyond the cell phone, they had nothing else to go on, and eventually the search was terminated. Kenny never turned up. He was just gone after that. While it's pretty easy for people to chalk up this whole M Cave thing as total nonsense, and that they believe all that happened is Kenny went out into the wilderness of the Mojave Desert and ultimately got lost and died, and that's fair, I do want to offer up one thing about his description of being near the cave, that first time he saw it. He described his body vibrating to the point where he couldn't go any further and he had to turn around and leave. The United States military uses these things called access denial systems around their highly classified installations. Anywhere where you cannot risk someone getting in.
This is scary shit. Why does that even exist? Damn. The fact, I don't think MrBallen capping. Cause correct me, I don't know which one he served, but didn't he serve? I don't know, military, Navy. I don't want to confuse him. My bad. Don't want to confuse it. Don't beat me up. You know it's crazy. My daddy served too. Now I be saying I'll be forgetting what he served too, but still, the fact that it's like, bro, I can't have nobody up here. I make this little thing. Peep this. Turn it on, bro. Can't let anybody walk through the door. You look, you gonna get shot. That mean it's something you can't see. It's something you cannot see. This is crazy to me. Bars.
Installations. Anywhere where you cannot risk someone getting in, like a fence isn't good enough, they use these machines that fire beams at people that get too close. They're non-lethal, but it's like being thrust inside of a microwave. You feel hot and really uncomfortable, and you turn around and you get the heck out of there. The fact that Kenny was right near Area 51, a highly confidential area, regardless of alien conspiracies, it's a known highly confidential base. And he's discovering this strange cave entrance that doesn't look like other cave entrances, and he's walking up to it, describing basically what it feels like to be hit with an access denial system.
Good gosh.
It makes you wonder, did he discover some secret entrance to some secret base? Or is this a bunch of crap and he just got lost in the desert and died?
Oh, no, man.
What we do know is that his search for M Cave probably ended his life. And that's why you should never go looking for M Cave.
This is good as ish. Not the fact that this had to happen to him. Rest in peace, bro. Wherever you are, I don't know what's going on. I'm not saying it all. What happened to you is good. Never in a million years would I say that. The way this story is told, this is so good. When I kick into conspiracy mode, sometimes I be seeing people get mad. I'll be telling you, get glad. I'm in my bag. Stop. Not everybody gonna think the way you think. It's not gonna work. I legit believe it's some stuff when it comes to Area 51. And it's ain't like MrBallen said, I don't go take it typical as aliens, even though I think some stuff there, but I think it's some stuff there. And I always be saying, like, bro, if I can go invisible, I go to Area 51, try to see what I can see. You know what I think low-key? I think they got something to detect me if I was invisible. That's just what I think. I just feel like you ain't getting in there that easy. I don't know. I could be wrong. It might be some of y'all are like, man, bro, I was in there, bro. I worked in there because ain't nothing. I don't know. But back for the long
Probably
rant.
ended his life. And that's why you should never go looking for M Cave.
I won't go. Vortex.
As the sun began to set on August 18th, 2010, Ben McDaniel, who was 30 years old, walked to the end of the pier, put on all of his diving equipment, and jumped in the water. He slowly descended 115 feet and came to a stop right in front of a very famous underwater sign. The sign very clearly tells anybody who sees it, do not go any farther unless you are absolutely certain this is the right thing for you to be doing.
Real sign?
If you go farther, you're probably going to die, like the 300 other people that have died doing this particular act.
That's a real damn sign?
Going to die, like the 300 other people that have died doing this particular activity. He swam right past that sign and went 300 feet to the very famous underwater locked gate. Now, the only people that have keys to this are extremely experienced divers, and even they don't typically go into.
Last stop, bro. This shit getting so creepy to me. Like, so creepy. There's an underwater locked gate. You legit tell me there's somewhere you go underwater and like, you know, like, bro, if you go any further, you're gonna die? If you get there, there's a gate that's locked and this is underwater? Tell me there ain't no crazy issue in this world. Tell me some of the stuff you. Ugh! Yo, the chills are good, bro. MrBallen, he know how to do it. These chills feel so good right now, man. This is crazy. That exists. God.
Are extremely experienced divers, and even they don't typically go into this area because it's so dangerous. Ben was not one of the very experienced divers that was given a key, but he still desperately wanted to get to the other side of the gate. So he's sitting there yanking on the gate, and he's getting himself kind of pushed inside halfway through the gate, and he can't quite get it open. And another diver saw him doing this and was actually concerned that Ben was going to get trapped on the gate itself and would just drown on the gate.
Oh,
and so this diver comes over and uses his key and maybe against his better judgment opened it, thinking that that was better than him getting stuck on the gate. Ben turns to look at him, gives him a nod, thank you, and he, on his own, swims into one of, if not the single most dangerous underwater caves in the whole world. It's called Vortex Spring Cave. From the locked gate, this cave extends another 1,600 feet and goes down to a depth of 310 feet.
Oh, I want to see a video on this, because I'm one of the people that's a huge believer. Not even a believer. No, we know there's, I don't remember the percentage. There's so much when it comes to underwater, calm down, undiscovered. So much. And I just want to know some of it. Oh my gosh, man.
Another 1,600 feet and goes down to a depth of 310 feet. The majority of this section of the cave is mapped, but there are sections that are not fully explored because they're so narrow, where you have to literally take off your gear, wriggle through a hole, pull your gear through and put it back on. All the while you're barely holding on to your mouthpiece.
And you can't mess up.
And so really the full extent of this section of the cave is not known. While we don't know exactly what Ben did when he went through that gate and entered into this extremely dangerous cave, we do know that he didn't come out again. And after a couple of days and no one had seen him, they launched this massive search for him, and they combed as much as they could of inside of that cave, but there were sections that they were just not prepared to go search.
Damn, like what happened? What did he see? What did what? Bro, having questions, it jumble your brain up sometimes.
They could have inside of that cave, but there were sections
fear
that
of
they were just
the unknown.
not prepared to go search, and so he was never recovered. All they ever found were 2 of Ben's dive bottles. As a total side note, when I was reading about the Vortex Spring Cave, it reminded me of some of the things that we did when I was in the Navy SEAL teams. And one of my least favorite things to do is when we would be swimming in and around ships. We would go under barges, and so a barge has a flat bottom, and sometimes they sit really close to the bottom of the ocean, but there's a little space under there where you can maneuver. And so we would go underneath these barges where there was only a few feet of clearance, and it's totally pitch black, and you're swimming in just total blackness where you're so claustrophobic.
I was gonna say, I'm far too claustrophobic for that. I couldn't do it.
basically tight in this little space where you're just hoping that nothing causes this barge to sink on me.
Oh my
By the time
God.
you get out the other side, it's like this huge sense of relief. And so that's why this is number one on my list, because for me, the idea of being trapped in a little tiny alcove inside of an underwater cave where you can't get out, you're running out of air, it's pitch black. I mean, that is just the absolute worst way to go. That's going to do it, guys. Let me know in the comments which of these 3 places you might actually want to go check out and why. I'll respond to all the early commenters, and I will pin the best overall comment at the top of the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video and you haven't done this already, please purchase the like button.
I forgot that was the question at the end of part 1. Oh my God. I don't know what to pick. I don't want to go to neither one. I don't want to go. All right. The reason why I'm going to go with number 3, the Gate to Hell one, because people can actually go there and come back. People can't. There's limits to it. There's parts you can actually even pay to visit and go back. It's just, trust me, I know my limit. I'm going to pay. They're going to hit my ticket. Thank you, I've been. I'm not going in. Have a good day, ma'am. That's hella crazy, and it's dope because my pop served too. Like I said, I want to say Navy Marine. I always forget. My bad. Don't mean disrespect. But it's just the stories like they have for you. Like, man, you gotta be strong to do this stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not built for it. But look, though, all jokes aside, man, I appreciate y'all. I'm having so much fun on this journey. I'm loving this. We just be chilling, watching horror stuff, calling cap on stuff we feel cap, having a good time, man. I appreciate that, yo. And if you're still here, you know I gotta give you something for the support. You know I got to. You know I love words. Cut it out. Stop playing so much. Dang. Good old Book of Happy. This is actually a dope one I got here. I love this quote. I read this one like 500,000 times. I really did. Let me start giving credit to the creator as well. But this one is: dream as if you will live forever. Live as if you will die today. James Dean, American actor. Bro, I read this one so many freaking times because I love it, man. Dream big. Let your dream be infinite. Let your mind go. Let it take you places. It feel good. And every day, appreciate it, man. Don't look at what you didn't do. Look at what you did do. Make sure there's something on that list that you had to do and you did do. Don't just sit unless something requires it. I don't know. But just do something. Dream big. I love y'all. I love me. I'm out.